Hey, today we're talking about how to solve one-step equations with addition and subtraction. So they're called one-step equations because they literally have one step to solve them. I put this riddle on here because Halloween's coming up and it has to do with one-step equations. So you can read that on your own if you would like. Um, an equation always has an equal sign, so that's our first blank, compared to an expression which does not have an equal sign. So early in this chapter when we did stuff with properties, the distributive property, combining like terms, those were expressions. We did not see an equal sign. Today we're going to see equations. Equations do have equal signs. So we will actually solve the equations today. The expressions that we were looking at with the distributive property and the like terms, you cannot solve those. You just simplify them. So first, it says determine if each problem is an equation or an expression and explain why. So number one, this would be an equation. And the reason is because it has an equal sign. So in the word equation, we see the word equa. That's how we know that it has an equal sign. It has the start of the word equal. Number two, 4 minus negative 2. There's no equation, so this is going to be an expression. And the reason, no equal sign. Number 3, I see an equal sign, so this is an equation. And the reason is because it has an equal sign. Okay. Moving down. In this section, we will be solving one-step equations by using addition and subtraction only. Tomorrow we're going to do multiplication and division. This is called a one-step equation because we only need to do one step. And we're going to use inverse operations, so opposite operations to solve an equation. You always do the opposite. So always do the opposite. Our goal here is to get the variable or the letter by itself. So to do that, we do the opposite, whatever is by the variable. So first we need to figure out what's the inverse of addition. The inverse of addition is subtraction. And the inverse of subtraction is addition. The important thing to remember about solving equations is that whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. You always do the opposite of what is already happening in the equation to the opposite side of the equation. So always do the same thing to both sides because with an equation, both sides need to be equal. So whatever you do to one side, you also need to do to the other to make sure that they're always equal. To solve equations, you need to get the variable by itself, which means that there is no number on the same side as the variable. Since you're trying to figure out what the variable equals, we're trying to get the variable by itself. So example 1, I have y minus 5. Now we can figure out that y is 15 because 15 minus 5 is 10. But the actual work to do this, you see what's going on by my variable. I have a minus 5. The opposite of minus 5 is plus 5. So on both sides of the equation, I'm going to write plus 5. So we have y, there's nothing under that, so I'm going to just bring it down. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0, and that will always happen. You want that to go away so that y is going to be by itself. And then 10 plus 5 is 15. So that's your answer. You can always check your answers by plugging it back in and see if it works. So 15 minus 5 is 10. Okay, example 2, I have x minus 4 equals negative 3. So I see what's going on by the variable. I see a minus 4. The opposite of minus 4 is plus 4. So on both sides of the equation, I write plus 4. Do not write it by the x because you can't do x plus 4. They're not like terms. So there's something under my x, so I bring it down. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0, so that's gone. Equals negative 3 plus 4, which is 1. So your answer is 1. And again, you can check this. If you plug 1 in for x, 1 minus 4 is negative 3. I need to see your work on this. There are some people who just plug in numbers and see what works. that is going to be an awful strategy once you get to algebra. So don't do it. Moving down. Number 3, I see what's going on by my variable. I have a plus 12. The opposite of plus 12 is minus 12. So you write minus 12 on both sides. 32 minus 12 is 20. Bring down your equal sign, bring down your y. 12 minus 12 is 0, so that's gone. So your answer is y equals 20. Number 4, I have x plus 6.9, so the opposite of plus 6.9 is minus 6.9. So write minus 6.9 on both sides. So you get x, 6.9 minus 6.9 is 0, so that's gone, equals 4.2 minus 6.9. I'm not sure what that is in my head. Well, I actually do, but to work it out, if you don't have a calculator, do your biggest number on top minus your smallest number. 9 minus 2 is 7. Bring down your decimal. 6 minus 4 is 2. So I know it's 2.7, and my bigger number is negative, so the answer is negative 2.7. Number 5, I have a minus 1/2 by my variable, so we're going to add 1/2 to both sides. Yes, these are fractions. We have done stuff with fractions. So I need to figure out what is negative 1 3/8 plus 1/2. So remember, always turn your mixed numbers into improper fractions. So this is 8 times 1 is 8, plus 3 is 11. So negative 11 over 8 plus 1/2. You need a common denominator. I'm going to pick 8, which means I multiply the second fraction by 4. So we get negative 11 over 8 plus 4 over 8. These are different signs, so we subtract. Negative 11 plus 4 is negative 7 over 8. So I'm going to go back to my equation. I know this is negative 7/8. Bring down the equal sign, bring down the x, and we don't, or negative 1/2 plus 1/2 is 0, so that's gone. So this is your answer. Make sure that you are lining everything up. So make sure everything is completely lined up. Your equal sign, your x, it's all lined up. Number 6, I have my a here, so I'm going to do the opposite of negative 0.7. Opposite of negative 0.7 is a positive 0.7. So I'm going to add 0.7 to both sides. So that's gone. Get a, bring down the equal sign. 0.4 plus 0.7, we can solve that off to the side. 7 plus 4 is 11, so 1, carry the 1. Bring down your decimal. 1 plus 0 is 1, so 1.1. If you have any questions, please let me know.